On June 20th, 2019, Zion Williamson was selected by the New Orleans Pelicans as the #1 draft pick. At news of his signing, Pelicans fans were dancing in the streets of the Big Easy. With his commanding size, his offensive and defensive abilities, and his room for growth, it seemed that New Orleans had bagged themselves one of the most impressive talents in all of college basketball history. Now, 3 seasons later, Zion Williamson is having big problems. And when we say big, we mean really big. That's because the issues plaguing Williamson do not only have to do with injuries, but his substantial heft. That's right, there is no easy way to put it. Zion Williamson has gotten fat. And while he's large, he's definitely not in charge. In fact, his big size was his future with the Pelicans in serious jeopardy and doubt. Some people think he will never slim down, while some people think this is all some masterful ploy to get traded off of the only NBA team he's ever known. Whatever the cause is, something has to be done about Zion's weight. This has gotten downright ridiculous. When Zion showed up for the 2021 Media Day, people were more than a bit shocked at what they saw. Williamson has always been a large guy, that's part of his power. However, the Zion that showed up on Media Day looked thicker than normal and not in a healthy way. While other NBA players have packed on pounds before because of extra muscle, it looked like Zion packed on pounds because of extra fries. Multiple reports have said that Zion is far bigger than he's ever been. In fact, it has been said that he weighs over 300 pounds now. In the history of the NBA, only 4 other players have been shorter than 6'10" and more than 280 pounds. Those players are Jahidi White, Oliver Miller, Robert Traylor, and Big Baby Glenn Davis. If Williamson really is tipping 300, he's the shortest guy at the list at just 6'6". While his official weight is listed at 284 pounds, just looking at Zion makes that hard to believe. Some people think the extra weight could actually be an asset to Zion and the Pelicans. Can you imagine any defender in the league being able to compete with someone of Zion's size? How do you get in the lane and stop someone who moves like a freight train, especially if they are as big as Williamson? It would be nearly impossible to prevent Zion from going to the hoop. If he wanted, he could get in anyone's face and make just about any player feel 6 inches tall if he wanted to. His intimidating mass could truly be a problem for the rest of the league. At the same time, common sense tells us that Zion is playing with fire when he lets himself get so big. It's no secret that a bigger waistline can really affect someone's stamina and their ability to play the game. You're telling me that Zion will be able to keep up with Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, and Devin Booker when he's coming in at over 300 pounds? It is just not possible. If Zion doesn't lose some weight, he won't be able to keep up and compete with the best of the association. The large size can also lead to some serious injuries, and Zion already has enough issues with that. Zion is currently nursing a nasty foot injury which has him benched. He's the best player on the Pelicans team and they have no idea when they will see him suit up again. And it's not the first injury that he's had. In fact, a torn meniscus in October of 2019 made him miss the first few months of his rookie year. But when he did start playing in the NBA, he made an immediate impact. In his opening game, he scored 22 points in just 18 minutes. In his first 8 games, Williamson scored at least 20 points in 4 consecutive games, which was the longest streak by any rookie of that season. All in all, Zion finished his rookie season averaging 22.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 2.1 assists a game with a 58% shooting average. It seemed like the future couldn't be brighter for Zion and the rest of the Pelicans. Were they finally a championship team in the making? Williamson got even better in his second season, pulling down 27 points and 7 rebounds a game. He was selected for his first All-Star game in February 2021 and became the youngest player in NBA history with 30 points on 90% shooting. But even with those record stats and potential, rumors persisted that Zion was unhappy with the team, and many people think that his dissatisfaction has led to his enormous size today. Just 2 years into his career, Williamson was eager to make it far into the playoffs. He even thought his team should go all the way to the finals, but that wasn't happening. In fact, the team ended with a 31-41 record in his sophomore season. It was around this time that the Pelicans fired head coach Steve Van Gundy and started making moves to keep Zion happy. However, multiple leaks reported that Zion's entire family was unhappy with the Pels. The complaints were multiple and included disappointment with the fact that the team traded JJ Redick and weren't able to retain Lonzo Ball. The loss of Ball hurt Zion a lot because he saw Lonzo as a key component of winning a ring. The bottom line is that there is still a very long road ahead for the Pelicans to be in championship contention, and that is making Zion look at a possible future that isn't with New Orleans. But he's locked into a multi-year contract with the team. He has 2 more years left with them, unless he finds a way to get traded. And maybe that's why he's packed on so many pounds. If Zion doesn't want to play for the Pelicans, he can find ways to force the team's hand and ship him elsewhere in the league. He could pull a Ben Simmons and refuse to play and not get along well with the team, or he could possibly make another unorthodox move and become really overweight. Why would the Pelicans be willing to take a chance and spend so much money on a player who is out of shape and making no plans to change it? If Zion made it obvious that he wasn't going to shed the excess weight, the team would be forced to make a move, and that move would include sending Zion away while they focus on rebuilding without him. That's the sort of move that New Orleans is terrified of. If Zion is really unhappy and chooses to sacrifice his body until he gets his way, the team would be stuck between two bad options. Find a team to take Zion and admit the last few years were a complete waste of time, or keep him on the team and try to give him what he wants to be happy. The better option of those two would be to trade Zion, because even with the extra weight, he would be able to secure an all-star in his place. The Pelicans could trade away Zion for someone with just as much potential, and Williamson knows that. He knows that if he really wants to leave the team, he can. All it takes is determination and a lot of junk food. This move has happened and worked before. Back in January of 2021, it was obvious that James Harden was wildly unhappy in his place on Houston Rockets. His disdain for the team was evident in multiple ways. He was having bad game after bad game, and most surprisingly, he was gaining weight. In fact, when Harden took to the court before a Rockets game, fans were aghast at the belly on the beard. Within just a few days, Harden was traded, and seemingly like magic, the weight suddenly disappeared. Many people speculated that Harden's expansive size was just another tool he was using to make his unhappiness with Houston well known. Is that what Zion's doing? Is he just trying to force New Orleans to make a move? If so, it's one of the most inventive and daring games of chicken in NBA history. Whatever they're going to do, the Pelicans need to make a decision soon. Zion has been sitting on the bench for every game so far, and the team has been doing horribly. They are sitting at the bottom of the Western Conference, and every game that the Zion situation isn't solved is a game they get further and further away from any sort of future that fans can be happy about. Zion is fat, there is no doubt about that, but there is doubt about why he's so big. The Pelicans need to get to the bottom of it and solve it soon. Time is wasting and the team's whole future is slipping away. Why do you think Zion has gotten so meaty? Has he just been eating poorly, or is there more to the story? How much longer do you think he will stay with the Pelicans? Give us your opinions in the comments below, and make sure that you subscribe and like our page so you can always get all the very best NBA news that you need.